Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cooltific podcast. I'm your host, Gabriel. Welcome to episode 8 of season 1, entitled General Topics Number 1. Uh, Today, as you can tell by the title, we're just going to discuss general topics for the full 25 minutes. Uh, it might have to do with the fact that I don't know what to talk about, but you know, you know how things are. Uh, so let's start with how my day, I guess, so far. My day's going okay so far. I got up, kind of rolled around in bed for a minute, and then I made some coffee and tried to enjoy that the best of my ability. And man, like it makes me sick every time. And I know I've mentioned that before, but like it just every time I drink coffee it makes me sick, and I don't know if I need to like eat something with it in order to like feel better, but I don't know, like every time I eat that stuff it makes me sick. So I gotta be a little bit careful with those kind of things. Um, Always remember to drink water, guys. It's good for you. Uh, I I've been having a lot of fun with this podcast. I currently don't have any additional plans for the podcast. Basically I'm probably going to I'm probably going to I'm gonna make the episode each season 10 episodes. So that's already a change that I've made. Um, I don't know when I'm going to be able to feature a guest on the podcast. Eventually, uh, maybe sometime in season 2. Uh, like I said, yeah, each special that features a guest is going to be 50 minutes long. Uh, I don't I don't think I'll extend it to an hour because that's just a little excessive, honestly. Um, like it takes a long time for my computer to export videos, so I kind of have to just be careful with that kind of stuff. So, yeah, so uh, one thing that I've been enjoying lately is jerky. Like, I don't know, like it's weird because, I've been enjoying eating jerky for the past like month or so, and I'll tell you what, it's a really expensive habit to have. Like you get a bag of jerky and it's like $4 or $4.50, and I don't know, it's just like uh, it's a little frustrating to uh, you know uh, blow so much money on something and usually the bags like don't even contain that much jerky, and so it honestly just feels like a waste of money when it's a habit. Uh, I think I think I'm gonna go on Wikipedia, and sorry for the mouse clicks, but I think I'm gonna go on Wikipedia and maybe read from there for a minute. And like I said, this is just general topics, and so uh, there isn't really uh, anything in particular to speak about. But let's do some research on Wikipedia just for fun. Uh, so, what should we look up first? Uh, how about Milky Way galaxy? So, the Milky Way is the galaxy that includes our solar system, with the name describing the galaxy's appearance from Earth. So, obviously you guys can't see, but the Milky Way, Wikipedia shows the picture of the Milky Way from like this observatory, and it's really beautiful. Like the Milky Way, I would say is like, uh, well, I mean, I guess like when you look at it from the sky, like when it's completely clear, there's no light pollution. Uh, it's like this band of gas in the center. I mean, is that what that is? Is that what the Milky? Is that what the content of the Milky Way is? What's in the Milky? I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah, what's in the Milky Way? It may contain 10 billion white dwarfs, a billion neutron stars, and 100 million stellar black holes. Wow, may contain at least. Filling the space between the stars is a disk of gas and dust called the interstellar medium. So, kind of that center area that you see in the Milky Way is called the interstellar medium, apparently. So that's pretty cool. Um, Apparently, the sun is centered, kind of like not like in the center of the Milky Way, but like kind of almost between the edge of the Milky Way and the center is where our solar system is. And according to this diagram, I don't know, that's pretty cool. Uh, it's weird to think that like is when the sun, obviously we're rotating around the sun, but the thing is that like we're almost like a comet uh, flying through space because the sun is actually rotating around the center of the galaxy, and so I don't know, it's interesting because like um, we kind of tend to think that the solar system's stationary, at least like kind of archetypically, but in reality, it's moving with respect to the center of the galaxy, and so that's actually pretty cool. Let's see, galactic center. The sun is 25,000 to 28,000 light years from the galactic center. This value is estimated using geometric-based methods or by measuring selected astronomical objects that serve as standard candles. What's a standard candle? The cosmic distance ladder is a succession of methods by which astronomers determine the distance to celestial objects. Huh, I have no idea how that works. With different techniques yielding various values within this approximate range. In the inner few kiloparsecs, around 10,000 light-years radius, is a dense concentration of mostly old stars in a roughly spheroidal shape called the bulge. And the bulge is a galactic bulge is a tightly packed group of stars within a larger star formation. Okay. Antimatter clouds. At least since 1970, various gamma-ray detection missions have discovered that Milky Way's galactic center is surrounded by a huge cloud of antimatter. Well, what exactly is antimatter, anyways? Antimatter is defined as matter. Oh yeah, matter composed of antiparticles, like I think they're called like positrons. Is that what they're called? Let me see. Like positrons and yeah, positron is the antimatter version of a electron. So, that's interesting. Let's continue on to another subject on Wikipedia. Let's go to philosophy. Philosophy is the study of general and fundamental questions, such as those about existence, reason, knowledge, values, mind, and language. Such questions are often posed as problems to be studied or resolved. Some sources claim the term was coined by Pythagoras. Others dispute the story, arguing that Pythagoreans merely claimed use of a pre-existing term. So, in the 19th century, the growth of modern research in universities led academic philosophy and other disciplines to professionalize and specialize. So, philosophy is very interesting. I went through a phase where I studied philosophy for a minute. I didn't get too far, but I don't know. I enjoy studying philosophy when I'm able to. A lot of the times, I don't really understand what I'm reading very easily. I don't know. I don't really. It's a little cryptic for me when I'm reading a lot of the philosophy books. Like a lot of the terminology I don't understand, and just generally a lot of the how do I put it? A lot of the reasoning used in the books, like I don't really understand either. In here, philosophy is divided into three branches. So we have natural philosophy, from Greek ta physika, things that have to do with physis, nature, was the study of the constitution and processes of transformation in the physical world. And then moral philosophy was the study of goodness, right and wrong, justice and virtue. And then metaphysical philosophy was the study of existence, causation, God, logic, forms, and other abstract objects. Metaphysica after the physics. So I I had quite an interest in metaphysical philosophy for a minute, um, especially when it comes to like the uh, study of logic and existence and a God, quote unquote. And I don't know, like I really enjoyed studying when I was, doing it. Um, so yeah, let's continue to another topic on Wikipedia. Coffee. Like I said, I had coffee this morning. So, coffee is a brewed drink prepared from roasted coffee beans. The seeds of berries from certain Caffea. I think this is the genus of coffee, Caffea species. From the coffee fruit, the seeds are separated to produce a stable raw product, unroasted green coffee. And if you guys ever seen like the pictures of the little like green pods that that was, I think that the pods can, like, I think like it's basically fruit, right? Because it's called coffee fruit, and so basically it's this green pod that contains the seed, which is eventually roasted and then ground, however you want to process it. The seeds are then roasted, a process which transforms them into a consumable product, roasted coffee, which is ground into a powder and is typically steeped in hot water before being filtered out, producing a cup of coffee. And I'll tell you what, like, I don't really enjoy coffee when it's black. It makes me, well, I mean, coffee in general is making me sick lately, but it's a little too bitter for my liking. So yeah, coffee is darkly colored, bitter, slightly acidic, and has a stimulating effect in humans, primarily due to its caffeine content. It is one of the most popular drinks in the world and can be prepared and presented in a variety of ways: espresso, French press, cafe latte, or already brewed canned coffee. It is usually served hot, although chilled or iced coffee is common. Sugar substitutes, milk or cream are often used to lessen the bitter taste. It may be served with coffee cake or another sweet dessert like donuts. What's coffee cake? Coffee cake may refer to a sponge cake flavored with coffee, or in the United States, a sweet cake and tend to be eaten with coffee or tea. Sounds good. It's making me hungry a little bit. A commercial establishment that sells prepared coffee beverages is known as a coffee shop. I like going to coffee shops. They're pretty enjoyable, just to sit around and read a book or something. I heavily enjoy doing that usually. Unfortunately, the town I live in, I'm not able to go to any coffee shops, and so that's a little unfortunate. I live in a fairly small town, so the earliest credible evidence of coffee drinking as the modern beverage appears in modern-day Yemen, from the middle of the 15th century in Sufi shrines, where coffee seeds were first roasted and brewed in a manner similar to how it is prepared for drinking. The Yemenis procured the coffee beans from the Ethiopian highlands via coastal Somali intermediaries and began cultivation. By the 16th century, the drink had reached the rest of the Middle East and North Africa, later spreading to Europe. I think there was a point where I kind of thought coffee came from the Americas, and I eventually, did some research, and it turns out that it comes from more the Middle East or the Horn of Africa. And I don't know, I don't know why I thought that. Maybe it's because chocolate comes from the Americas, and so maybe I got that confused, or maybe I made the assumption that those two went together for some reason. The two most commonly grown coffee bean types are C. arabica and C. robusta or robusta. I think robusta. Coffee plants are cultivated in over 70 countries, primarily in the equatorial regions of the Americas, Southeast Asia, the Indian subcontinent, and Africa. As of 2018, Brazil was the leading grower of coffee beans, producing 35% of the world total. That's a pretty big number. I don't know. I mean, I knew Brazil was a large producer of, or grower in this case, of coffee beans, but I didn't realize they grew like such a large portion. Brazil's a very beautiful country. How about we look that up next? Brazil is the largest country in both South America and Latin America. At 8.5 million square kilometers and with over 211 million people, Brazil is the world's 5th largest country by area and the 6th most populous. Yeah, Brazil is a huge country. Actually, I think the landmass of Brazil is bigger than the continental United States, which, you know, I think it makes sense, but it's huge. Like, you just look at it on a map, like I see a map of it here, and you know, you just see how it stretches almost to the Pacific Ocean. I mean, it's blocked off by Peru, but it has a huge Atlantic coastline. And it's interesting because if you look at Brazil with respect to Africa, you can kind of see how, like, you know, South America used to be part of Africa, you know, because of tectonic shifts and stuff. Because Brazil, it almost looks like it fits into the western portion of Africa. So that's actually kind of trippy if you think about it. But yeah, so Brazil, let me see. Let's not read that. Brazil was inhabited by numerous tribal nations prior to the landing in 1500 of explorer Pedro Alvarez Cabral, who claimed the area for the Portuguese Empire. Brazil remained a Portuguese colony until 1808, when the capital of the empire was transferred from Lisbon to Rio de Janeiro. In 1815, the colony was elevated to the rank of kingdom upon the formation of the United Kingdom of Portugal, Brazil, and the Algarves. I don't know how to say that, like pronounce that properly. Independence was achieved in 1822 with the creation of the Empire of Brazil. So that's really trippy that Brazil was, like, technically considered an empire in the 19th century. I wonder how large it was. I mean, it was pretty big. It even included Uruguay, which is pretty trippy. Independencia o muerte. Independence or death. That's gotta be fun. What came after the Empire of Brazil? First Brazilian Republic in Uruguay. So that's apparently the first Brazilian Republic. Is it any different from modern Brazil? Like the shape of the country? Maybe the map is just a little messed up looking, I don't know. Vargas era is the period in history of Brazil between 1930 and 1945, when the country is governed by President Getúlio Vargas. Second Brazilian, other part of the Vargas era is known as the third Brazilian. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Let's move on to another topic of Wikipedia. Let's talk about sheep. I don't know. You got this little picture of sheep. They're pretty cute, aren't honestly. You know, sheep are generally pretty, you know, relaxed and tame. They don't really, like, try to attack you or anything usually. You know, but I don't know, I could be completely wrong about that. I mean, there are, you know, they can be aggressive. Let me see. Sheep are quadrupedal ruminant mammals typically kept as livestock. So besides, like, I guess meat and shearing, you know, like collecting their wool, what else are sheep? I wonder what else sheep are used for. Sheep husbandry is practiced throughout the majority of the inhabited world and has been fundamental to many civilizations. In the modern era, Australia, New Zealand, the southern and central and South American nations, and the British Isles are also closely associated with sheep production. Apparently, in both modern and ancient times, ancient and modern religious rituals, sheep are used as sacrificial animals. Let's look that up. Sacrificial animals. Animal sacrifice is the ritual killing and offering of an animal, usually as a part of a religious ritual or to appease or maintain favor with the deity. It's pretty interesting how, like, you know, like, I don't know, like, you believe in, you know, a god, and it's like, well, in order to be in harmony with you, I have to kill a pig or something, or, you know, a sheep. It's a little odd, you know, that, you know, humans believed in such things. Maybe it's because, like, you know, you're transferring the life of the animal to the deity. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the beliefs surrounding animal sacrifice were, but, you know, it's a little interesting that, like, animal sacrifice was, Animal sacrifices were common throughout Europe and the ancient Near East until the spread of Christianity in the antiquity, and continue in some cultures or religions today. Human sacrifice, where it existed, was always much rarer. Man, human sacrifice is crazy. Human sacrifice is the act. Yeah, well, we know what human sacrifice is, which is usually intended to please or appease gods, a human ruler, an authoritative / priestess figure, or spirits of dead ancestors, such as the propitiation offerings. As a retainer sacrifice when the king's servants are killed in order for them to continue to serve their masters in their next life. Man, that's a little crazy. Oh, part of a series on homicide. How exciting. Let's move on to a lighter topic. Mario. Let's see. Mario is a fictional character created by Japanese video game designer Shigeru Miyamoto. He is the title character of the Mario video game franchise and the mascot of Japanese video game company Nintendo. What's interesting is that I've been playing Nintendo games for a long time, but it's interesting because Nintendo's actually existed since the 1800s. I think they were involved in making card decks or something like that, and then they eventually got into video games almost 100 years later. So that's actually pretty trippy if you think about it. Mario has appeared in over 200 video games since his creation. That's actually kind of insane. It's a lot of games. Depicted as a short, pudgy Italian plumber who resides in the Mushroom Kingdom, his adventures generally center on rescuing Princess Peach from the Koopa villain Bowser. So, I don't know what a Koopa is. It's like a turtle. Reptilian mini troopers of the Koopa Troop from the Mario franchise. Mario is one of the most famous characters in the video game industry and an established pop culture icon. Mario's likeness has appeared in a variety of merchandise such as clothing, collectible items, and people and places have been nicknamed after him. I mean, there's probably been some people who were straight up named Mario after the character. I mean, who knows? Name. Though the protagonist was not named in the Japanese release of Donkey Kong, he was named Jumpman in the game's English instructions, and Mario in the sales brochure. Miyamoto envisioned the character to be used in every game developed by Miyamoto, a go-to quote-unquote character who could be placed into any game if needed. Albeit in cameo appearances, as Miyamoto did not at the time expect the character to become singularly, oh my gosh, I can't say that word, singularly popular. To this end, he originally named the character Mr. Video. Yeah, that's right. He was called Jumpman in the instruction booklet, but Miyamoto actually referred to him as Mr. Video. So yeah, I don't know. Reading Wikipedia is actually pretty fun. If you're doing it for a show. But the thing is that I definitely need to, maybe next episode we will maybe do strictly specific topics for the whole show, because in this show I kind of just in this show I kind of just did whatever. I decided to go on Wikipedia and read a little bit. So let's finish off the article with or it's not the article, but the episode with pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie is a dessert pie with a spiced pumpkin-based custard filling. Oh, that's making me hungry. You know what really makes me hungry is cheesecake. Cheesecake's so good. Oh my gosh, I want cheesecake now. Cheesecake is a sweet dessert consisting of one or more layers. The main and thickest layer consists of a mixture of a soft, fresh cheese. God, that sounds so good right now. Do you guys like cheesecake? I love cheesecake, even though it's so unhealthy. It's probably the most unhealthy thing you can eat. I don't know. I mean, there's this picture of baked cheesecake topped with raspberries. That sounds so good. Oh my gosh. Anyways, the Thanks for listening to the podcast, guys. I'll see you next time. Have a good day.